The Real Housewives of Orange County may have wrapped its latest season, but the drama between Ginella, Tamra Judge, and Alexis Bellino has officially exploded beyond Bravo screens. It all started with one accusation and one mysterious secret recording that changed everything. Months ago, fans were left stunned when Tamra Judge accused Ginella of secretly recording Shannon Beador during one of her infamous meltdowns, and then showing that recording to Alexis Bellino, who, as every Real Housewives of Orange County viewer knows, is now romantically linked to Shannon's ex, John Jansen. The alleged betrayal sent shockwaves through Orange County, creating a domino effect of broken friendships, awkward alliances, and revenge-fueled watch parties. But here's where it gets even messier, because Alexis Bellino swore that Katie lied. According to Alexis, there was no recording, no audio clip, no shady betrayal. Alexis was adamant that Katie had made the whole thing up for attention, while Tamra seemed to double down, standing by her claim that the recording existed and was very real. The fandom split right down the middle. Team Katie, Team Alexis, and Team Who Even Knows Anymore. But just when everyone thought this feud was beyond repair, something completely unexpected happened. In a twist that had social media gasping, Alexis Bellino took to Instagram on November 7th with a smiling arm-in-arm photo alongside the very woman she accused of lying, Ginella herself. Standing beside them, none other than Tamra Judge and OG Real Housewives of Orange County alum Joe Della Rosa. Alexis captioned the post simply, "Just good vibes." And fans instantly knew this wasn't just a casual post, this was a statement, a peace treaty disguised as a selfie. Before we go deeper into this jaw-dropping twist and what really happened behind the scenes at that watch party, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications, because what comes next will completely change how you see these Orange County friendships forever. Now back to that night, because this is where the story goes from surprising to downright petty perfection. As the cameras flashed and drinks flowed, Katie and Tamra's reunion seemed perfectly civil. Almost too civil, considering how intense things got during the season. But just feet away, spinning tracks and setting the mood for the night, was none other than Mike Shay. Yes, Scheana Shay's ex-husband. The same Scheana Shay who's currently in a very public feud with both Katie and Tamra. If that wasn't enough to make Bravo fans' jaws drop, wait until you hear what song Mike decided to play. Because as the crowd started vibing and everyone raised their glasses, the unmistakable sound of Scheana's iconic single, Good as Gold, blasted through the speakers. The ultimate Bravo anthem turned ironic clapback, echoing through the room like a perfectly timed inside joke. And the best part? Fans couldn't stop talking about it. "You gotta give it to Scheana," one fan commented later. "She's worked for this moment. People can say whatever they want, but she's built her empire. Even her haters are playing her music now." Another viewer chimed in, "I love how Tamra is suddenly besties with Katie, the one person left who will actually hang out with her." But not everyone was feeling the love. Tamra's behavior at the reunion was embarrassing, one fan wrote. The screaming, the telling Shannon to shut up. She made Shannon look like the calm one for once. Others were even harsher. "This gives me the ick," another commenter said. "It's a passive-aggressive level of nastiness that only Tamra could pull off." And then came the ultimate observation, one that had everyone talking. "Why does it look like Katie just asked Mike to play that song?" a fan asked. "This isn't the flex they think it is." By the end of the night, it wasn't just a party. It was a statement, a perfectly orchestrated, passive-aggressive Bravo battlefield, wrapped in sequins and Instagram filters. What's fascinating is how fast alliances in Orange County shift. One week they're at war, screaming at each other on couches in front of Andy Cohen. The next week they're hugging for a photo and captioning it with emojis. But what no one expected was what came next. Because while Alexis's good vibes caption might have looked innocent, a close source says this reconciliation wasn't as effortless as it appeared. Reportedly, the two women were encouraged by Bravo executives to smooth things over publicly, at least for now. With ratings climbing and storylines blurring into real life, there was too much at stake to let this feud spin out of control. Behind the smiles, however, another storm was brewing. Tamra, who has always prided herself on being the truth teller of Real Housewives of Orange County, allegedly felt blindsided by how quickly Alexis and Katie made up. After all, Tamra had spent an entire season defending her claim about the secret recording, and now it seemed like her allies were switching sides. The betrayal reportedly cut deep, and according to one insider who attended the watch party, the tension between Tamra and Katie was still palpable, even if they played nice for the cameras. The source described it as smiling shade, polite on the surface but cold underneath. When Alexis Bellino posted that smiling selfie with Katie Ginella, the internet saw peace. But insiders close to the Real Housewives of Orange County saw strategy. Because behind those smiles, there was a quiet conversation, a mutual understanding that could reshape alliances in Orange County forever. Sources who attended the watch party claim the reunion between Alexis and Katie wasn't as spontaneous as it looked. In fact, it was planned, not by Bravo, but by Katie herself. According to an insider, Katie reached out to Alexis days before the event, wanting to clear the air and move forward. But those who know Katie best say her motivation wasn't forgiveness, it was redemption. Katie's reputation took a major hit after Tamra accused her of secretly recording Shannon Beador's meltdown. Once the accusation hit the airwaves, Katie's name trended for all the wrong reasons. She was called sneaky, two-faced, and thirsty for fame. And though she denied it repeatedly, the damage was done. So when Alexis, who had publicly called her a liar, agreed to meet her face-to-face, Katie saw an opportunity. Not just to patch things up, but to rewrite the narrative. One carefully filtered Instagram post at a time. The two reportedly met privately before the watch party began. No cameras, no glam squad, just raw conversation and a deal. Alexis allegedly agreed to publicly end their feud under one condition. Katie had to admit that she handled things wrong and promised to never bring up Shannon or John Jansen again. For Alexis, this wasn't about forgiveness either. It was about control. With her relationship with John Jansen still under the microscope and Shannon Beador's fan base relentless online, Alexis needed to clean up her public image fast. Being seen as the bigger person, forgiving the woman who wronged her, was a strategic move to soften her perception before the new season's filming began. And that's exactly what she did. The smiling picture, the Just Good Vibes caption. It was a masterclass in reality TV politics. Image over emotion, optics over authenticity. But of course, in true Real Housewives of Orange County fashion, not everyone was on board with the peace treaty. Tamra Judge, who had been fiercely loyal to Alexis during the feud, reportedly felt blindsided. Insiders claim Tamra found out about Alexis and Katie's reconciliation through social media, the same way fans did. She wasn't tagged, wasn't warned, and definitely wasn't happy. She was furious, one insider told us. Tamra had gone to war for Alexis. She defended her on camera, she called out Katie, and then suddenly the two of them are hugging for photos. Tamra felt played. That fury was reportedly on full display at the watch party. Though Tamra smiled for photos and even posed beside Alexis and Katie, witnesses said there was tension you could feel. It was one of those smiles that doesn't reach the eyes, another guest recalled. Tamra looked like she wanted to scream but knew she couldn't, not in front of everyone. And then came the DJ moment that fans can't stop dissecting. Mike Shay spinning Scheana Shay's Good as Gold while Katie and Tamra danced together. Some saw it as a playful nod. Others saw it as a passive-aggressive jab. A we win moment aimed at Scheana, who's had her own share of Bravo feuds. But those close to the group say it was deeper than that. Mike Shay was reportedly invited by Tamra herself as a way to take control of the narrative. Playing Scheana's song was Tamra's way of saying, "You can hate me, you can talk about me, but I'm still running the show." Still, not everyone at the event found it amusing. One guest said Shannon Beador's name came up during the night, and the mood shifted immediately. It was like someone dropped a bomb, the source said. Tamra went quiet. Katie tried to laugh it off. Alexis changed the subject. You could tell there are still things they don't want to talk about. And those things might be much darker than anyone realized. A Bravo insider has since claimed that a version of the secret recording does exist, but it wasn't made by Katie. Allegedly, Shannon's outburst was captured incidentally by someone else's phone during a group hangout, and clips of it circulated privately among cast members long before Tamra brought it up on the show. Katie may have seen or heard part of it, but never actually recorded it herself. If that's true, it changes everything. It would mean Tamra's accusation was based on half-truths, that Katie wasn't innocent, but not entirely guilty either. It would mean Alexis's outrage might have been misplaced, and it would explain why Bravo executives reportedly stepped in, urging everyone to drop it before the situation spiraled further. For now, the women seem content to keep the peace, at least publicly. Katie and Alexis continue to like each other's posts, and Tamra has been careful not to reignite the feud online. But Bravo fans know better. In Orange County, peace never lasts long. Because when the cameras start rolling again, every smile, every alliance, every good vibe selfie will be up for interpretation. And this fragile truce between Katie, Alexis, and Tamra, it might be the calm before an even bigger storm. One thing's for sure. The women of Real Housewives of Orange County have mastered the art of reality reinvention. What starts as a feud becomes forgiveness. What looks like friendship hides rivalry. And what seems like closure is really just the setup for the next explosion. As for Shannon Beador, the woman at the center of this audio mystery, she's reportedly watching it all from the sidelines, quietly waiting for her moment to speak. And if Shannon decides to break her silence about that night, everything these women built, their peace, their image, their alliances, could crumble in an instant. Because in the Real Housewives universe, secrets don't stay buried. They resurface, they explode, and they always, always come back louder than before.